We woke up really early this morning. I didn't want to get out of bed. And then when I finally got out of bed, we've just been sat in van. I'm like, do you want to go out? Do you think we should start like getting a bit of footage for people, you know, start showing them where we are? And Reese is like, no, that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all. It's absolutely freezing.
Do you want to get out of van? I'm like, not particularly, no. It's absolutely freezing, but beautiful, absolutely stunning.
We're in the Lake District and we're just at the side of Coniston Water. Really difficult to park up in the Lake District. They've cottoned on to van lifers, they're not daft, but there are still a few places left that you can park up at.
So this is somewhere you can park up quite easily, just right at the side of Coniston Water, which is a great little spot to park up in.
We've been here before, it's absolutely beautiful any time of year, to be honest. We come here in the summer and we do, you know, swimming in the lake. Even in winter, like it's, you know, if it's snowy, it's gorgeous. It's got this, at the moment, it's got this kind of fog going over it. It's absolutely outstandingly beautiful.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, New Year. We just thought we'd get back to kind of van life at its core, really. So just like a really kind of relaxing van life episode, really, and show you one of the best spots kind of in the Lake District and a couple of places that you can kind of park up. Just because the lakes are so difficult to park up. Normally we won't give like all our best spots away, but this one spot in particular we are going to show you because it's just a breathtaking, beautiful spot. And it's somewhere you can park quite easily in the Lake District. So we're going to show you that in a bit. But first we need to get some wood. It's freezing, we need some wood to keep warm.
This is what we'll normally do when we park up somewhere. We'll kind of spend a bit of time, usually out in the middle of nowhere, parked up, just doing what we do. And then we'll usually try and find like a local town, a small place that we can go, maybe grab a coffee, spend a little bit of money in that town or that village, just so you're putting a bit back into the community and stuff. So we've come down to Coniston to see if we can get some wood. We've been here before. If you look back at some of our first ever vlog that we did, very early on we came down here. I think it were actually end of 2022. It's a lovely little village. It's really nice, really welcoming. You do have to pay for parking down here, which happens quite a lot, unfortunately, which is why most of the time we'll spend our time out in the middle of like nature and stuff like that as well, because its costs can add up quite a lot. We need to loosen your harness off a bit, don't we? I have to say though, parking here is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is the worst parking charges, I think, like Lake District than we've come across anywhere, isn't it? £4 for 2 hours.
The lakes are absolutely beautiful, there's no doubt in that. And the park up that we're going to show you later is absolutely worth it. It's one of the best park ups, probably not just in the lakes, but in the UK really. It's been a kind of a favourite of ours for a long time, so I can't wait to show you that. It is absolutely stunning, but it's like you've got £4 for 2 hours parking, you know, and then the toilets are 60p to use, and it's like, it seems it's quite costly to come to the lakes. But like Emma said, it is worth grabbing a coffee, just putting a little bit back into the local community. We're not using campsites, so it kind of balances itself out. If we were using campsites, it'd cost us like 30 quid a night or something, I don't know. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful, typical little Lake District village is Coniston. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Over here, little sweetie shop. Old-fashioned sweets. Oh, look at aniseed balls. Do you remember aniseed balls? Oh, you forget about all these sweets, don't you? Like dolly mixtures and stuff like that.
You can't beat that old-fashioned kind of sweets, can you? My favourite were always sherbet dips when I was a kid. Remember sherbet dips? It kind of gives you that real nostalgic feel, doesn't it?
This is really cute. It's a little honesty shop. So you must just leave your money in like a little pot or something like that. Open every day. Handcrafted goods.
There's one shop selling wood, but it's shut, isn't it?
It's shut.
So
Shut. That little honesty shop were really good though, weren't it? Oh,
Daisy's back in again.
They were collecting money. So during lockdown, they had a lot of people. They went round all the people in the village and asked them to do crocheting or knitting and stuff like that. And everybody did because they got time to do it, which helped with the loneliness and people being bored and stuff as well. And then they've used that little room and they've filled it with all sorts of handmade goods, and anything that you buy goes towards renovating the building. It's a massive, massive building where they used to have a lot of people come and sort of have their weddings there and things like that. And she was saying they nearly reached the target.
Yeah, they've done really well.
Some lovely little places around here. There's loads of like little pubs and little cafes and restaurants.
And if you like hiking as well, there's Old Man Coniston that you can hike up. We're not really ones for hiking with Emma's health,
no.
especially, but if you do like hiking, Old Man Coniston's apparently a really good hike.
But there's no wood here, so we need to move on, I think. We may end up not being able to have a
No, it might be
tonight,
sat round a candle with a hot cup of coffee, I think. She's found another Highland Cow, look. Everywhere we go now. Look at him. I thought you'd have bought that Highland Cow.
No, because it was 40 quid.
40 quid for a teddy bear?
Quid.
That's ridiculous.
Everything is really expensive. Like even, you know, a pair of woolly gloves, the cheap woolly gloves that are 99 pence in most shops, are 9.99 here. So everything is really expensive. I mean, 40 quid for a teddy.
That is ridiculous, isn't it?
That's beyond our budget anyway.
Just a bit for a teddy bear, yeah. Winter in the lakes is always the best. Don't come in summer, it'll absolutely be rammed with this in summer.
Do you want to get a coffee?
Yeah, we can get a coffee, yeah, or a caramel latte.
Come on then, let's sit.
I'm going to see if they've got a vanilla latte. One of our subscribers, Lisa, said I need to try a vanilla latte.
Hey, that's pushing boat a bit,
I
isn't
know.
it? Ooh.
Vanilla.
Mind you did try that one the other day. What was that one you
got?
got?
Yes.
Maple syrup in coffee. That's a taste revelation for you.
What a game changer that was.
Yeah, well, lovely.
What a game changer. Dark Canadian maple syrup. It was absolutely gorgeous. Look at this little cute Christmas tree here. How lovely is that?
Really posh place where you think you're going to get all the different choices, and then you end up where they don't do any flavours, none whatsoever, absolutely none. No caramel, no vanilla, no nothing.
I tried, Lisa. I tried to get a vanilla latte, but they don't do vanilla latte, they don't do caramel latte, they don't do any flavour latte whatsoever. So I've ended up with a coffee, which we could get in the van really, but this is what we were saying about just giving back to the community that you're kind of visiting, really.
I want to know, am I getting old? I can remember my mum doing it and my grandma doing it, you know, where you sort of go, oh, didn't used to cost that much, can't blimey, it's gone up a bit. And I'm doing that all the time now, like 2 coffees, regular coffees, £6.30.
Wow.
To me, that's extortionate. When you're doing van life, it's not like you've got a lot of disposable income, is it? So I think I'm in a mourning day today.
You are mourning a bit, aren't you?
Mourning day today.
Just whinging.
It's nice and warm for you, it'll warm your tummy up now.
So 2024, this year, we've got loads planned, like loads of epic stuff. We will be going back to Europe. We will be getting the boat on the water. We will be going to loads of epic places, but just coming out of Christmas, we just wanted to just chill, just get back to van life and just chill, like, you know, Christmas was busy, wasn't it? Like, creates that, it's exciting, isn't it? But it creates that thing where you just want to kind of calm down after.
You've got to ease yourself back into New Year.
Yeah, you have.
Be rushing.
What's your New Year's resolution, Emma?
I'm doing these wall exercises that I've seen on Facebook because I'm too tight to pay for app. I've just been watching advertisement every time it pops up and it shows you different exercises on each one, so I've gained about 15 that I know now. So I'm just doing them, and they're really easy, like they're really, really gentle, and it's not too much exertion. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sort of try and do a little bit more exercise, try and get my joints a bit better. Daisy's New Year's resolution should be to stop barking.
Daisy.
At dogs. Daisy, be gentle. It's a nice doggy. Be gentle. Daisy.
She just barks at everything. If anybody knows how to anything about Chihuahua. Mind you, we've got a Chihuahua trainer. And this Chihuahua trainer had like 7 Chihuahuas of her own. She'd done it for years and years and years. 11 Chihuahuas. Right, and Daisy had spent like 2 hours with her, and she's just like, I'm really sorry, I can't train this Chihuahua. What it was, Daisy was the only pup. I don't know if we've ever told you this, but she was the only pup born to her mum. So obviously dogs normally have like a litter of puppies. So she never socialised with other dogs. When we first went to see her, she was literally sat by herself. So obviously even though we tried to socialise her and stuff as a puppy, by the time we'd got her, she'd spend 8 or 9, probably 10 weeks by the time we picked her up. Just completely by herself, bless her. So it's not her fault, it's not your fault, is it, Daisy? No.
What's your New Year's resolution?
I honestly don't know, really. I do want to get back to my cold water swimming because that's kind of dropped off a little bit. So I want to be doing cold water swimming whenever we come across a lake or a waterfall. It's hard in winter, like, especially once you've had a little bit of a break from it, to get back into it, because your whole body's like, I don't want to get in the cold. But that's my New Year's resolution. Don't you find New Year's resolutions, though, don't last? I don't know. Let us know in the comments what your New Year's resolutions are and whether you think they're going to last, because mine never do.
Yeah, I've got an answer to that.
What? Don't make one.
My answer is that you have to be invested in it. So, if you watched our live last week, we're talking a little bit about this anyway. You go back, analyse your past year, or longer if you want. Go back to all your Facebook comments that you've put on, all your posts that you've put on, all your photographs, and look at what you really enjoyed doing and what really worked for you, and what didn't work for you, what made you miserable, what got you to that point where you literally wanted to like post something about it. And then you've got to do more of what works and less of what doesn't, rather than always trying to come up with something that's brand new. That's what we do wrong, you see. We try and come up with something that's a brand new answer to probably an old problem.
Emma's just going on Park for Night now to find out where this spot is, because we can never remember exactly where they are.
Then turn left onto Ruskin Avenue.
Just a couple of things about driving these roads in places like the Lake District and stuff. So it's winter, the sun's really low, which is making it really, really difficult. Obviously you've got the sun glaring at you in your eyes. On top of that, the roads are quite narrow, so it's kind of knowing when to stop and just taking it really slowly. I've got a queue a mile long behind me. It's a 60 is this road. I'm doing 40, just because you in it. You know, when you're in a van, some of these corners are really tight, so you're kind of always kind of looking ahead. And I know this probably sounds a little bit patronising, but if you're not used to van life, or you've just got a van, or you're thinking about getting a van, I would recommend kind of coming here in these conditions, low winter sun on these little country roads through the lakes, and just doing it in a car to start off with, because they fly around these bends as well, so you're kind of looking ahead. But these conditions, believe it or not, even though it's a clear day, are really difficult, because you've just got that constant glare of the sun that makes visibility really, really difficult. Not to put people off doing it, because you're absolutely fine, just to kind of take your time really, and respect your conditions. Don't go hurtling through here at 60 mile an hour in these conditions. It's just dangerous.
2 a.m. in the car playing our favorite song. Turn it up, windows down.
It really is just beautiful though, absolutely beautiful. I find it amazing how the difference between the different sort of landscapes and stuff you get across England. There's so many differences in the way that the terrain is around you and the landscape around you. You know what, even though I've loved having time at home with like family and friends over Christmas, this is just what it's all about. This is why we do van life, just being out in nature, beautiful surroundings. Get really excited because you're heading to a place where you're just away from everything and everybody. It's just absolutely beautiful, although these hills are rather steep, to say the least.
We sing along. The summer night has just begun.
If you're looking at doing van life, although everybody's different and everybody wants different things out of a van, I would strongly recommend like going for a modern van. Think about your van first. Think about how you want it to look like afterwards. Get something that is going to last you, something that you know has got the power to get you up these hills and round these corners and overtake people when you need to. That's the main thing that I would think about when you're looking at a van. Think about the power, think about the mileage, think about the age of it, especially with this Euro 6 thing these days as well, the charges that you can incur. And then just make the inside of it exactly how you want it to be.
If you do want to know kind of more about vans, if you're thinking about getting a van and which van to buy and things like that, let us know in the comments if you want us to do an episode on kind of what van to get, why we chose this particular van, and just our opinions and recommendations on it. Let us know if that's something you want us to do and cover, and we can kind of go into that in you know, a lot more detail for you if that's helpful.
The moon is bright, let's have some.
We're coming up to the park up, not far now. There's a little sort of stream that runs, like a little river really, that runs down the left-hand side here. And it's just absolutely beautiful. It's away from the centre of the Lake District. It's not so busy, it's not near all the shops and all that sort of thing. You know, it's just really quiet and peaceful here. We have arrived. It's just a little spot here, just tucked away in between these beautiful sort of cliff edges. And it's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, this spot is on Cellar just out of Ulster.
Ulford, I think it is.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen where it's called basically, but look at this, just look at it. It's absolutely just insanely beautiful, absolutely stunning. I mean, just look at this, right, nestled. It's just like it's been purpose built for like a secret little spot. But it's just absolutely epic. We're going to wander down there and have a look at the river, and it's just surrounded by mountains, and it is the #1 spot, especially in the Lake District. If you're going to do the lakes, you've never been to the lakes, or you're wondering how are you parking, how are you wild camping in the lakes, don't go to places like Buttermere, Windermere, because that's where it's going to be touristy. If you come onto this side, onto the western side of the Lake District, it's a lot more wild and it's less touristy.
We've parked up here a few times. If people do use this, because we don't often give away exactly where we park, so if you do come here, please look after it, because the last time there've been reports on this place, it was full of like, you know, litter and all that sort of thing all over the place. You know, people had left mess. People had even emptied the toilets. And stuff like that. It's just disgusting. Just don't do that. You know, I'm sure none of our viewers would do that, but you know, just look after it, take care of it wherever you park in nature, take care of it and look after it, because if you don't, before long we won't even be able to park in it anywhere anymore, because they'll just take all them places off us. If you come up onto these ledges here, and I'm not very good at stuff like this, but it's only like two or three little steps up, it's not far. Reese usually puts himself over here in his little reading corner. And then right round here, you've got a massive flat area where you can just set up your table and chairs, and you can just like have your lunch. And especially in summer months as well, it's absolutely beautiful. It's really cosy and warm up here. You know, it's a right sun trap. So you've got this little bit up here, and you can just sit down, set up, maybe have a camping fire or something like that. Looks like somebody's left some fruit out here for some unknown reason. What are you snorting for, Daisy? That's not very nice, is it? I think somebody's left some fruit out for some birds or something. But we'll go down and have a look at this river and go for a wander on there, show you that. It's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous.
This is our park up for the night. We are going to go check out this river, but first things first, let's have some lunch. Daisy, what are you doing?
Take some patience, Daisy.
You have your dinner? These gas bottles are an absolute pain, aren't they?
Yeah, I've even put I've put 2 socks around it, thinking that might help to keep it warm, but it's no, it's not working. I'm just trying to warm Daisy a little bit of water up so her dinner's not freezing cold. Must be no worse than having your dinner freezing cold.
The problem with gas bottles in winter is they go so cold that the gas, it don't work, does it?
No, because we have, if you've got LPG, that works okay in cold. But we've got butane, which don't work very good in cold. But then your butane stuff, are much easier to get hold of when you're abroad. So that's why we kind of tend to use that. But then if you're using LPG abroad, not only is it harder to get hold of in Europe, but LPG works better in cold weather. Your butane stuff works better in hot weather. So how do you weigh that up when you...
It swings and roundabouts, doesn't it? Look at our heating system on the go, look. 3 candles in there. And then we've got all these candles.
4 candles.
4 candles. Let's go check out this river. It is just absolutely beautiful out here. There's no signal here, it's very remote. But as I was saying, it's one of the best spots. Definitely the best spot in the Lake District, without a shadow of a doubt. Can't beat this, can you?
And there's no excuse for mess, because there's literally, in the middle of nowhere, a bin.
Leave no trace. Look at it, lad. Just look at this. Like walking through Lord of the Rings.
England is beautiful though, isn't it? Like
England takes some beating, doesn't it? It really does. The formations of these rocks, trees. It's very wild.
It's almost, it feels like, never been to America, but it's what I imagine that, like the America would look like. It's got, I don't know where in America, but it's just, that bit is how I imagine it'd look like.
Yeah, like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where that would be. If you know that, guys, let us know that in the comments.
I don't know where anywhere is. I barely know where I am most of the time. That's how I like it. No idea where I am, ever. It's just weird, isn't it? Because you look on that side and you've got all that, and then you look on that side and you've got all fields, green fields everywhere. It's got everything as this place. And there's little Romany, look, just sat in her own little spot. Oh, just look at this. Oh, it's a bit boggy.
I'm going to say it's going to be boggy down. Let's
Not
pick
too
our
bad.
route, Daisy. Come this way. Don't follow Mummy.
Look at it. Just look at it.
This is wicked, isn't it?
This is what van life is about. People wonder why you do it. This is what it's
why
about.
you do it. Just look
This
at
is
this.
your garden.
Look
if you
at
wanted
it.
to have this as your garden, you'd have to spend millions and millions of pounds on an house. But you don't need to. You just get a van, you pull up somewhere, you park up, you wake up somewhere like this in the morning. The sunsets are absolutely fantastic. And then you wake up to beautiful running rivers and, you know, just this is why to do it. This is why to do it. You don't have to spend 3 million on a house.
Van life is epic. Believe the hype. Daisy, what's down here? What can we see?
You know when you see all those van lifers on YouTube and they say stuff like, this is why not to do van life, this is why I'm giving it up, this is why it's terrible and
this
awful.
is why van life's so horrible.
I don't get it.
Don't do it.
I don't get it.
Just go home.
Come on then.
Let's head back to the van, get set up for the night. Get yourselves out here, guys, honestly. This is the perfect way to relax doing van life after a busy Christmas or whatever. Get yourselves back to nature. There's Romany, all by herself in that little... It's weird how that's formed, isn't it?
It's like having your own little house. You get these odd little spots, don't you, where you park up. And it's like, because you're kind of in the middle of either nowhere or on a street park or a car park, or you don't often get these little spots that feel like they're just designated for you. It's like going back to a kid when you were a kid and you used to build a den and you felt like you'd made your own little house. It's like that. I think it's as well because you can set up your table and chairs and stuff.
Yeah,
you've got that freedom, haven't you? It's like in summer, you know, getting awning out and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can do all that here. As most places, you get an awning and you don't ever really have a chance to use it. We've had a good day today, actually. It's been really good, but we're tired now, so we're just getting. We've got the bed up ready. Just getting itself sorted, getting to bed. Reese is already in bed reading with Daisy. We've also got this underfloor heating. Look at that. Electric blanket on the floor. I'm actually considering getting another one of these and putting it underneath that rug. Daisy's been barking like crazy to get into bed. She loves getting into bed. She gets really nice and cosy and she absolutely loves it in bed. But I think she's so tired now. She only did about a 10-minute walk, but she's shattered, I think.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel out. And don't forget that Romany Pirates is now on a Tuesdays, not a Monday. So we'll see you next Tuesday at 8 PM. And until then, keep writing your own story.